Rebecca Reid, why do we celebrate this body positivity?
There's so many things to say. Overweight and obese are very different things. Overweight people have the longest lifespans of any demographic. Being overweight can also be, you can be fit. If you can pass the fitness test in the army, carry on. If you can't, then you can't be in the army. Same with a copper. A really major...
So it doesn't matter what your weight...
No, it doesn't matter what weight is. If you can do all the running and lifting, do it. Okay. And if you can't, then you can't be in the army.
You'd accept that you have to pass the
obviously, if you are 42 stone and you can't move, different role in the army, frightening people, I don't know. But generally speaking, you have to be fit, not thin. But and one thing I would say is my issue with this isn't that. I think that's sensible from him. The body positivity movement is not to blame for this. Nobody wants to be fat. Nobody aspires to be fat. It's a way of getting people to hate themselves less. And a major Scandinavian study found that the number one thing that makes people lose weight and keep it off is liking themselves and feeling OK about themselves. If you make people feel terrible about themselves, they put more weight on. They don't lose weight. You can't fat shame people into getting thin.
But I agree with that, actually. But, Sean Bailey, you say that the society we live in today, people's feelings are now considered more important than their behaviour.
And this is the point, is it? We all know that the army is literally life and death, and all the police also operate in very hazardous circumstances a lot of the time. So you have to set these fitness levels so that it can actually function. It needs to be performance above feelings. That's the issue. And when you talk about body positive, of course you mustn't make people feel bad, but there's a balance here, and there's an idea that we're drifting off too far one way. And I think a lot of these magazines are absolute hypocrites. They've spent 20 and 30 and 40 years pushing, you know, that heroin chic look down our necks, and all of a sudden, because of, you know, anything to do with looking cool, they've gone the other way. I think we need to have a conversation.
What about the Lizzo look?
I've worked in women's magazines extensively. It's not about looking cool. It's a step change. We went too far with the anorexia promotion, and I don't think it's gone too far, because I don't think a single person looks at Tess Holliday on the cover of Cosmo and thought, I'd like to weigh 24 stone. Nobody wants that. It's not aspirational. It's taking the hatred out of it. Lizzo can play the jazz flute and dance and sing at the same time. Her fitness is incredible.
I'll tell you why I disagree, because the whole thing about those magazines is inspirational. You buy those magazines to learn, to be inspired, to go forward. No, but if you listen, this isn't about are you fat or not. This is about magazines normalising things. If you normalise something, then you encourage people in that direction.
But if that were true, people will be wanting to get fatter. People are getting fatter because they can't cook, we have poor education, we have a convenience culture, we don't have any good nutrition, we don't have good access to exercise, we work too long, too many hours.
That's not true. We know more now about food than we've ever known. So that education
Your average person cannot cook.
I'm sorry, that education...
People in this country cannot cook.
That's not the point. It's about what you eat, not what you cook.
Fascinating discussion.